My name is Lydia Laing and my matrix number is J24A0927.
Hi, I'm Shashwin Rao Simhachalam, and my matrix number is J24A1041.
Hi, I'm Shailen Nair. My matrix number is J24A0981.
Hi, I am Wan Muhammad Daniel. My matric number is J24A0959.
Today we are going to debate about freedom of speech brings more good than harm. I agree with the statement that freedom of speech brings more good than harm because it encourages critical thinking and informed decision making. Freedom of speech can make people to form their own opinions based on diverse information. This is because they can develop solutions to problems through collective dialogue and collaboration. For instance, it can be encouraged by questioning assumption. By asking yourself a question like what evidence support this situation and are there any underlying assumption influencing the argument. So it is important to help people to avoid logical fallacy, cognitive biases, and emotional influence. What do you think?
Hi, Lydia. That's a good point, but I have to disagree with your point because I think freedom of speech brings more harm than good. As my main idea is, I think it will spread more misinformations. If you have freedom, you would love to spread more informations online. As my supporting details are like with rapid dissemination of unverified or false information, others would trust the news easily, and this might increase the chances of problems in our world. For example, misleading posts about health advices, fake news, or altered information can lead people for poor decision. So people might take wrong direction because of this misinformation. What do you think about this point, Daniel?
Thank you, Shazmin Rao. You have a good point, but I think freedom of speech encourage diversity of ideas. For supporting my point is freedom of speech allows people to express different views, which leads to a broader exchange of ideas. By that, this can foster innovation, social progress, and the identification of better solution to societal problems. What do you think, Shazwin?
Good evening. Yeah. Thank you for your point, Daniel. But I totally disagree with your point just because I think freedom of speech brings more harm than good, which leads to the first point, which is escalation of hate speech and social division. This is because it spreads hate and divides communities. For example, on platforms like social media, freedom of speech has become a weapon for spreading hate, hate speech, targeting vulnerable groups, and depending societal divides. The psychological impact is devastating. Victims of hate speech suffer long-term emotional and mental harm. Moreover, unchecked freedom leads to chaos but not progress. That's all for me for my first point.
What do you think, Lydia?
You may be right, but I disagree with your statement that it brings accountability and transparency. This is because it allows citizens and media to question the government, ensuring power is not usurped. So moving on to my next point that I agree with the statement because it's reduced violence through dialogue. Freedom of speech can prevent those drifts from escalating into violence. Dialogues put us where the action is as it can establish a safe environment towards people. For instance, dialogue provides a platform for peaceful resolution of conflicts. This is because dialogue has its abilities to interact respectfully with other people despite different backgrounds, beliefs, and opinions to reduce violence. Do you agree with me?
Sorry, Lydia. I think I can't agree with your point because I don't think so. Dialogues will create a safe environment because I think by having freedom of speech, there'll be like the speech can harm individuals' mental health and well-being, such as like bullying, stuff like that. As my supporting idea, I want to say that by having this freedom of speech, there'll be unregulated speech can lead to bullying, harassment, and defamation, particularly in online platforms. There'll be more sexual assaults, more bullying to the kids who are using the social media because most they are the people that using social medias a lot. And this also by having this freedom, there'll be lack of accountability in such of cases shows that how freedom of speech can sometimes do more harm than good. What do you think about this, Daniel?
Um, thank you, Shazwin. But I'm not I'm I'm not agree with you. It's because freedom of speech protect individual rights. It's because freedom of speech is fundamental human right. And it ensures that individuals can speak their minds without fear of retribution or censorship, which is essential for personal autonomy and democracy. What do you think, Shavin?
Um, well, I still disagree with your point. I still stand strong on disagreeing that freedom of speech brings more harm. I will talk about national security now because freedom of speech, when it's misused, can pose serious risk to a country's safety. If you ask me how, it's when extremist groups use the platform of free speech to spread propagandas, recruit followers, and incite violence. This creates instability and puts innocent lives at risk. Moreover, we have also seen cases where sensitive or misleading information is spread, creating chaos and damaging trust in authorities. A single viral post can destabilize entire region. In short, without limits, freedom of speech can turn into a dangerous tool that harms the very society it's meant to serve. Thank you.
Uh, do you agree that if freedom of speech brings more good than harm?
Actually, I want to agree with you because there were better points from you guys agreeing because I heard better points for freedom of speech brings more good than harm from you guys. So there were better points than us. So we agree. Agree, Chudra.
Yeah, I agree too because I feel that freedom of speech do bring more good than harm. What about you, Daniel?
I am totally agree with all of you point, and we can proceed to the conclusion.
To conclude, we agree that freedom of speech brings more good than harm if it is exercised responsibly. It serves as a foundation for democracy, social progress, and personal growth
Yeah.
by allowing the free exchange of ideas and holding power to account. That's all from us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.